Welcome in, Ritchie and Rob, betPARX, Rob Ellis, my man, Jon Ritchie. We get to hang out again, JR. All right, Jon, big news from the Eagles this week is they do make a trade, as Howie Roseman has been known to do. He will pull the trigger on a deal, especially if he sees a need, and they get Kevin Byard, comes over from the Titans. Eagles don't give a ton up. Terrell Edmonds and some later round draft picks in the future. Free safety, guy's got a lot of interceptions in his career, 30 years old. Shows up every game. He does not miss too much work, Jon. What do you think about this move for the Birds?
It's miraculous. Howie Roseman. This is once again thrilling for all of us that we have the best GM in the game. You realize that there are like interconnections with Keith Byard, just like there are interconnections with all the Georgia guys, college teammates. Reed Blankenship and Byard are what was it? Middle
Tennessee State.
Middle Tennessee
Who would have
State
thought, man?
together. Like I don't know a lot of folks at Middle Tennessee State, and we've got two of them right here on our team, and they happen to be really good safeties. I'm so excited about pairing those two. This is it's incredible, and
it really
and we
is.
are a much better team for having added this player.
You know, it's amazing. You look at Howie and how aggressive he is, and then you have Jerry Jones who says, well, we're not really going to initiate everything. We feel great about where we are. It's like you are in such better position because this guy is always uber aggressive. If he sees something he doesn't like, if he can possibly do it, he's going to make a move, Jon, and they never seem to be moves that hamstring you.
Well, I think this sort of carries over to the organizational view. Everyone's going to be accountable. Yeah. Coach Sirianni holds himself accountable. He'll say when he's made a mistake because he believes that's the only time you learn.
Yeah.
And Howie Roseman, same thing. Hey, the team, the roster, it wasn't up to par because of the injuries that we suffered. So I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do something about it. He never ceases to amaze me. Howie Roseman, man, truly, truly magnificent.
And Jon, that's on the heels of the most impressive win of the season when you can beat Miami the way that you did and nullify what went into the game as across the board the best offense in the league. Let's talk about that because I frankly, Jon, I thought it was going to be a close game that they would lose, and the Eagles showed up in a big way, and even more impressive when you consider they were doing it, a little short in the back end. It had that feel to 2022 for the first time, really, for me in this game. How about you?
Yeah, finally, right? It's taken a month and a half, and we're where we kind of expected this team to be a while back. I think that defensively, it was Sean Desai, the job that he did slowing down that offense, not just the passing game, the run game and the passing game. They had under 200 net yards passing. Tyreek Hill normally has more than that himself. Just on an average day, and the run game, man, the quickness, the scheme, we nullified that, and that's with Josiah Scott in the nickel, taking, I want to say, almost every snap of that game, and Eli Ricks out there.
He was excellent,
balling out.
Yeah.
We've got and young guys galore making plays. Of course, we talk about Jalen Carter all the time, but man. I didn't realize Eli Ricks could play like that. I didn't realize Josiah Scott. I mean, he was here in camp. He played a really nice game, and finally, the defense is where it needs to be. And I'm looking so forward to seeing where this heads this week against a really bad offensive line that we can do some crazy damage to sack numbers wise. I'm just really looking forward to the devastation that's in store for the rest of the offenses around the NFL.
I like that. The devastation that's in store. I mean, you're right. Washington's given up 40 sacks already, Jon. I mean, you can only imagine Josh Sweat and the rest of the crew are just licking their chops. That's for sure for this one.
Sweat has been incredible.
It's been awesome.
It's just, and Fletcher Cox has been incredibly active and better than I've seen in years. And I just think it's an inspired Fletcher Cox. You've got great feeling bouncing off the walls in that D-line meeting room. They are just magnificent. Once again, domination, man.
Yeah, a little later, Jon and I are going to dig into that Washington game, that's for sure. But we appreciate you hanging out with us, as you always do, on Ritchie and Rob each and every week. He's Jon Ritchie. I am Rob Ellis for the great folks at betPARX.